everyone, welcome back to Daddy and the Don. Today we're here to do a Week 10 preview of the Premier League. As you can see, there's a few unfamiliar faces to regular viewers. Bottom right-hand corner though, regular pundit Jay. He's in the car. Hopefully he can hear me. How are you, Jay? You all right? Yeah, thumbs up. He's all good. Doesn't want to talk. Next to me, making his debut on the channel, is Arsenal fan. You've probably seen him on plenty of other channels like Dale Boy and Oris Talks. Is Manny. Are you right, Manny?
All good, mate. All good. Good evening to you, and thank you for having me. An absolute delight.
I can't wait to get started with you, mate. It's a pleasure for you to come on. Thank you so much. Down the bottom, he was on the show on Tuesday after a long absence. He's back on again today. Another Arsenal fan. It's Ollie. Hello, Ollie.
Yeah, good. Thanks for having me on, mate. I'm ready to smoke these Liverpool fans.
And next to him, first appearance of this season. Last appearance was the review from last year. Man United fan. It's Shahan, better known as Down the Middle Mia. How are you, Mia? You all right?
Yes, I'm good. It's nice to be back. Thanks for having me.
It's good. So, what?
Once you aren't invited because I don't like you.
You never come on when I ask you to come on. So you can come on all you want. You're always welcome.
Oh yeah, no, not Ollie, and no, not Muncie at all. Don't start this.
So
Everyone's been actually coming on United, didn't they?
Yeah. Because of the connection, I'm going to start with Newcastle Brentford. Jay, I know that your connection might not be as solid as the others because you're out.
No. Do that one last. I'll be 20 minutes and then I'll be on.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, we'll start off with comedy then.
Come on, Everton! Come on!
Right. Ollie, there's a rule here. Don't interrupt. If you interrupt more than 3 times, you're going to be put on a timeout. All right, Shahan. So, obviously, let's forget the Europa League. Before we get into this game against Everton, just tell me about your thoughts on the game against Man City. Why did it go so wrong?
I think Man City are just too good. That's the problem. I think they're too good for the league. I think Haaland is going to be a big headache for a lot of the defenders this season, not just United. But yeah, I think just conceding too many. I think Haaland, his form's too much, and hence why there was a big margin. But I'll take the 6-3, to be honest.
And why do you take 6-3? Because it could have been 10-0?
Exactly, yeah. It could have been worse. So I don't think of it as 6-0. I think of it as 3-0. So let's leave it at
that. Just a quick word on Anthony. 2 goals in 2 games in the Premier League. How good is he? And do you think he could be potentially a star for you lot?
I think he's still yet to prove himself, to be honest. Star-wise, I don't think he's... A few more games. I think it's still early. He is showing promise. Again, he's looking a bit too weak down the wing. He's got the flair. He's got that Brazilian flair. It's too early to say, to be honest. Give him at least half of the season. Then as it is right now.
All right, Shahan. You're breaking up a bit there, mate. I don't know if that could be interference, but I couldn't hear you properly. I did hear a majority of what you said, though. Hopefully that will go now. Regarding Everton, up next, on a good form, how tough of a test is this? Oh, he's frozen. Oh, no. Is he gone? Are you there, Shahan?
5G.
There you go. Everton up next. How tough of a test is this?
To be honest, the thing is, now teams, when they come up, come out like they can be way. But you have players. One, two, three. And with our players on form, I think that will go our way, to be honest.
Yes, fair enough. How much of an importance is this to get a not just a result here, but a performance?
I think this game is important. We need to take every games like this. We need to be coming away with 3 points. To be honest, when the likes of like Arsenal are playing well, got Liverpool that still need to show themselves, but they'll be up there. Got City who are trying to obviously will catch up to Arsenal in my view. But yeah, this is a game where we need to come out with the 3 points. It's not like, oh yeah, get a draw and wow, but we need to be up there. We need to be up there fighting.
Manny, how vital is this for Man United? This is a booby trap, surely.
Oh, it is vital, and I wouldn't necessarily call it a booby trap or a banana skin, but as both of you said, they're coming up against an Everton team that's recovering really well. I had this team, just surviving relegation by the skin of their teeth, but Lampard has done quite well with them. He's got them playing as a unit. They've tightened up in defence. Obviously, Connor Cody's been a big help with that. And even without Neil Maupay, they can depend on Anthony Gordon and Gray, obviously, to score a few goals. But they do seem to be recovering well. And of course, as long as they have old reliable Jordan Pickford in between the pipes, that's half the battle won. But United will be determined to win, and I think Rashford is now. I think it's more or less established that Rashford, Martial, and Anthony will be, the front three attackers. I'd like to see Ten Hag adopt a 4-3-3. I don't see this being a banana skin at all, Graham. I think this will be a tight win for United, 2-1, but it will be a well-earned win, and this will continue their recovery of sorts. And if this means that Ten Hag ditches that ridiculous 4-2-3-1 system in favour of a 4-3-3, all the better. He needs to use his midfielders.
Ollie, you've been quiet, which has made me really impressed. Your thoughts on this game here? Do you think United will get the win, or do you think Everton can cause a surprise?
Yeah, this is where the switch flips here. I'm going with an Everton 2-1 win. They're at home. I want to shut these United fans up. They've got their confidence from God knows where, from heaven. They lost 6-3. They lost 6-3 to United City, and now they've beaten some random Europa League team, and they're all gassed and happy that Martial's scoring again. But look, Everton are at home. They're not doing well at the moment, so they want to pick up form. It's United's to lose. They're definitely going to win this game. They're favourites to win the game. It could be a draw. It could be definitely a United win. I'm just going with a shocking result. I'm being out there. I'm not very good at predictions. So I think United will score. They'll score first. It'll be 1-0. I think Martial will score 1-0 half time. And then Everton will score maybe Gray. And then maybe someone like Iwobi will score like a last minute goal or something. So I'm not being mean to it. I rate or rest. I rate any United fan. It's just that I want Everton to win this game so badly. So 2-1 Everton.
Thanks, Ollie. Jay, what's your view on this game?
Yeah, I agree with Manny. I think Everton have sorted out the defence, and I think Lampard has kind of got a bit of a shitty stick. People were slagging off Gerrard, saying he's not been doing good enough at Villa, and kind of Lampard was thrown in with that. But I think actually, if you look at what Lampard's done there, they were leaking goals, and they've kind of shored that up with Tarkowski and Cody. So I can't see them losing at home to United, because I think they're pretty solid. I think Lampard's can be a bit ropey with his tactics and sit on leads, but yeah, I think it'll be a draw, to be honest. I mean, and that's a bit on the fence, but I think Everton are good enough to get a draw out of United. But I think when you're talking about Martial, Rashford and Anthony, are they a top 4 front three? Like, probably not at the moment in terms of showing. So they're good players, very good players, but they're not a top 4 front three. So I think Everton can definitely get something here.
Fair enough. Shahan, before I get your prediction, just on Man United as a whole, where do you think realistically you can finish this year?
We play well. With the teams around us are performing, especially Liverpool, Chelsea are not looking the best. I think we could get 4th, to be honest. I think we'll finish 4th.
Yeah, and you're quite confident with that.
Because this is because of the teams, like I said, like Liverpool, Chelsea. They're not playing their best. I think City and Arsenal will definitely finish top 4 this season, and Tottenham as well. I think Tottenham, another team. Yeah.
Yeah. Jay, are you actually muted? Because every time yours is loud, it seems to affect Shahan's audio.
That was muted, me.
just mute it again, because every time yours goes off, it seems to affect his audio for some reason. It's really
I was
strange.
muted the whole time, you knobhead.
Yeah. There you go. Thanks. To Shahan. Oh, I love you, Jay. Not as much as you, Ollie, of course. Shahan, what's your score prediction here, mate?
2-1 United.
And are you confident? Are you confident that this will be a win?
Yeah, confident, but I think it will be much tighter and Martial and Rashford to score.
I actually said 1-0 Everton just because, because I hate United. I just think that this could be a banana slip. I would not be surprised if United come out and put a performance, as Manny said. And I think Jay's got a correct point. I love you, Ollie, but I do think yours is just based on the fact you hate United. Mine is just because I think they could slip up. But if Man United come out and get an early goal, then they will win the game. It's simple as. They're not going to let a goal lead slip here. If they score early, they win. If Everton win...
It won't be a clean sheet for either team, though. It won't be a 0-0. It won't be a 1-0. I think there'll be goals in this game.
Oh, what happened on Thursday to happen again against that COVID team?
Bro, you were 1-0 down.
It happens. It happens. We all have our moments. Mac is saying 2-1 Man United. So we'll move on. Another comment. Where is my best mate, George? He's not well, bless him. Oh, bless him. He's not well, George. Super George, not well, unfortunately, Macca. Jay's still out. So we're going to go to the big game then of the weekend.
Yes.
Arsenal-Liverpool. I can see Ollie's already getting excited. I will start, actually, with a neutral point of view. And I'm going to go back to you, Jay. As an Arsenal fan, you got three here. Are we as good as we started, or do you think a team like Liverpool, who needs the performance, could put us in our place on Sunday?
Nah, I think you're underestimating yourself. You're being the opposite of what Arsenal fans normally are. You normally think you're the fucking best team in the world, and you haven't been for 10 years. But I think you lot are doing the opposite at the moment. They're being a bit coy with how good you've been. And you've kind of put Liverpool on a pedestal where they're missing Mane, definitely. Don't get me wrong, I think the players they've signed have been okay, but definitely missing Mane. Van Dijk's been a bit off this year, so I'm not saying things are lucky, but I'm saying things sometimes click, and then when they don't click, it hampers your performance for the whole season, not just a little blip. But yeah, I think Arsenal at home, it's not like you're going Man United away. You're playing Liverpool at home, so I think you guys expect a win and should get a win, to be honest.
Fair enough. Thank you very much, Jay. I appreciate that. Manny, back to you. So, Liverpool at home, this is a test. Regardless of their form, this is a test. If we come out of a win here, are we serious contenders, or do we still be cautious?
Still be cautious. Still be cautious. We've got to play Chelsea twice. We've got to play a Brighton team which might not have Graham Potter anymore, but they've got the system that Potter built and a manager who masterminded, if you will, that famous 3-3 draw at Anfield. And here's the thing. I don't know if you noticed, Graham, but if you've been as big a fan of Arsenal for as long as a lot of people like myself, you will know that a lot of these big teams have this nasty habit of reserving some of their best displays for us. I don't know what it is. I think, Jay mentioned a point about how, instead of being coy, we're rather bullish about our chances. So teams love to put us in our place all the more. And I think it's fair to say that, Liverpool are going to want a response. Klopp will expect a response. I think he will set the team up to make sure that they avoid making some stupid mistakes. As bad as Van Dijk has been this season, I agree he has been, abysmal. I call him Dick Van Dyke, obviously, because if you remember Mary Poppins, the chimney sweep dance and all that, flailing his legs around, you know what I mean. But here's the thing. I mean, it's only a matter of time before the players they do have start to gel a bit. And their midfield still looks decent. Their front three is still quite decent in theory. And I think Salah will break his duck. And let's also not forget last season's record. Played 4, lost 3, drew 1, 8 goals conceded, and no goals scored. We need to set that right. And we need to set that right on Sunday. So there will be goals in this game. This is a game where whoever wins the battle in midfield could dictate the course of the match. Both teams do have informed strike forces. I see goals in this game. I am going to keep my cards close to my chest, not be too, not really leave the fence. I am going for a score draw, a Desmond.
Why do
2-2.
you always predict a draw, Manny? Always a
Scott,
draw.
nothing wrong with that. Added Time podcast. Big up to you. Thank you for coming on watching. Yeah, I believe TAA, Alexander Arnold, will be Marco Martinelli. So that will be a key battle. With that said, I'm gonna hold you, Ollie. I know you're desperate to talk. I'm gonna go back to a neutral point of view, Mr. Mia. You said the other day to me that that Arsenal are overrated. Yes, you did.
My God.
Tell me why we're overrated and what do you expect from this game?
Let me start by saying they've been playing well this season, but I think the matches they've come up against this season, I think their biggest game, to be honest, is Tottenham. They played this season, in my view. I think Tottenham were not their best that day. Arsenal were way better, hence why they came out with the win. But this game will be, in my view, a big test for me. I think Liverpool got a point to prove, obviously with their recent form, etc. in the league. I think they'll come out guns blazing. But on the other hand, you're going to have Arsenal at home with their form. But I can just see this going just down the middle, to be honest. This will be going straight down the middle.
I'm not surprised there. I'll come back to you for a prediction in a minute. Listen, he's dying. He's desperate. Look at him there. Go on, Ollie. What do you think is going to happen here?
So it's going to be
3-0
Arsenal. I obviously saw the video recently. Someone said 2-0 Arsenal. So whoever they are, I love you. But let's go down to the facts. 50% of people think Arsenal are going to win this game, and I agree with that. Anyone here predicting a draw, I'm calling you out. It's not going to be a draw. It's going to be a high-scoring game, and Arsenal are going to win, like always. I'm predicting 3-0 purely because Jesus will get a hat-trick. It might be 3-1 Salah goal. We'll have to wait and see. Looking at the predicted lineups, we'll play a strong team. Ramsdale, Ben White, Zinchenko, Saliba, Gabriel, Odegaard, Partey, Saka, Gabriel Jesus and Martinelli. Looking at their team, they're going to play Diaz, Salah. So it's going to be hard, and a record against Liverpool isn't good. So, we've lost to them multiple times. I mean, the last time I remember beating them was the Community Shield, and that was like 2 years ago. So we need to win this game. We need to beat Liverpool, because I've never seen Arsenal beat Liverpool in the Premier League match in donkey's years. So we've got points to prove here, as you said. Liverpool are 9th in the table with 10 points. If we win this game, we go 14 points clear. If Man City lose their game and we win our game, we go 4 points clear of the title. And clip me now, Arsenal are definitely winning the league. We're going to win the Europa League. We're going to win the FA Cup, and we're going to get knocked out of the FA Cup. And then we're going to get into the Champions League next season. So
Ollie. Chris, big up, my mate, best mate, by the way. I think he's right with that comment. I love it. I love your fair play. You support your team. Manny, I know you've already given the prediction. I mentioned about AA versus Martinelli. If Arsenal are to get a result here, is that the key matchup?
It is, definitely. And look, we all know that for all of his attacking prowess, TAA has been rather suspect at right back. And he can still be caught out with one incisive pass or what have you. I just think, Graham, that, when it comes to being to performing defensive duties, he always tends to, look for the ball rather than stay with his man. Positionally, I just think it's as if he has so much of an itch to try to get forward that he leaves that gap at the back, and he can't cover it in time. And we've seen that in the Champions League final against Real Madrid. We've seen that in a few big games. I think if Klopp wants to keep TAA as right back, then he's going to have to tell him to just, just calm down, keep your positioning well. If we want you to take a free kick or pass it up the field, by all means do so. But you've got to keep your positional sense. And the sad part is, I do believe that he does have some decent competition in Joe Gomez, who could perform well at right back. The only problem is Klopp brought him in as a central defender against Napoli, and that poor boy got ripped to pieces. So you could see that he was thrown under the bus. But if TAA makes a few mistakes, then this could be the start of more and more questions being asked. And so that matchup you've mentioned, TAA and Martinelli, yes, that could be very key indeed. Martinelli is speedy. He's a live wire. And
Tenacious.
it will be interesting. I think TAA is going to have to work really hard to earn his chops here.
Jay, I'll go back to you. Can you just respond to Ollie's comments about Arsenal winning everything? Are we going to win everything?
Do you know what? You played a shit team last night, but I still think you're going to win Europa League. I think you're too strong, to be honest.
Well, so you think we'll beat Man United and Roma?
Yeah.
PSV?
Huh?
Yeah.
You've got to play them. Well, you've got to play all these teams first.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you've got a very, very good chance. It depends on the draw, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But what about the Premier League?
So yeah, I think Europa is something, and also something Arteta will definitely be aiming for. I don't think he's ever going to take it lightly. I think he's definitely going to push. I think if it's the league or Europa, I don't know. I'd go for Europa, but obviously the league is the biggest prize, isn't it? So I can't see it not happening, but also can I see it happening? Probably not. I don't know. There's a probability, yeah. So you got some chances. But yeah, with Ollie, I think you're going to win 2-0. To be honest, I think everyone's sucking off Liverpool. Fucking hell, what happened to the days of hating them? What happened to the days of hating Liverpool and them being shit? Oh, they're so good. No, they ain't. They had one lucky season when they won the league, and they've been okay since. Everyone was poo last year. That's why they got second.
I know Jay hates Liverpool. Ollie, I'll go back to you. Listen, I know Jay hates Liverpool. Are you not getting a bit carried away? Listen, Jay's got an opinion. He's entitled to it. Liverpool are a good side, no matter what Jay says. 3-0. Are we really going to beat Liverpool 3-0? Do you truly believe that, Ollie? He's frozen. Look at him smiling. He's frozen.
Sorry. Let me turn my camera off because the internet's terrible.
Go on. Do you truly believe we'll win 3-0?
No, I don't. It's just
so what's the score going to be?
It's going to be 1-1 or 2-1 Arsenal. But look, listen. Let me calm down a bit. Obviously, I was a bit hyper winning the league. Whatever. We're not going to win the league. Realistically, Liverpool want to win this game. It could be a 2-0 Liverpool. It could be either way. But I'm gonna calm down. I'm gonna say I agree with some of the draws. I said I wouldn't take a draw. But if it was a comfortable draw, if we were winning and then they got a goal back, or if we were losing and we got a goal back. But I want us to win this game. Every game, I want Arsenal to win. Even if it's Barcelona away, any game, I want us to win. So we can try and win this game. We're at home. We're playing a team at 9th who are supposed to be, top 4 contenders. So I think even a rest doesn't think Liverpool get top 4. So, but in all seriousness, with that comment, I would take 4th. I would definitely take 5th with Europa because obviously you'll get a trophy as well.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'll ask this question very briefly to yourself, Manny and Shahan. You see that there. Very quickly on all of you. I'll start with you, Ollie. What would you prefer?
Listen, I would take 4th, but if we were to win the league and use the Europa League, I would take that. But realistically, 5th in Europa League, there's nothing wrong with that. We finished 5th last season. We win a trophy. We automatically go in the Champions League. If you look at it, the top 4 side, it's something we haven't done for a few years. Obviously, I remember one of our best seasons recently was Leicester. We finished 2nd when Leicester were 1,000 to 1 and they won the league. And obviously, we weren't going to overtake them because of how many points ahead they were. Obviously, we finished 8th twice in a row and then 5th. So this is a season where Arteta needs to prove all these Arteta out fans. I'm sorry, Arteta out fans, but whoever says that is very delusional. Arteta is doing a great job at Arsenal. He's lost one game, which almost every manager would lose, Old Trafford away. But yeah, I think that Liverpool, they have a chance of winning this game. And if you look at it as a Liverpool perspective, they want to win this game to get more points. Arsenal perspective, if we win this game, we go 14 points clear and possibly more points clear of Man City. And obviously with the loss, Man City are now the only unbeaten side. So if they were to lose or draw again, they're dropping more points for us to. And obviously, Tottenham, the great winner, well. So hopefully, if they keep losing games, we can. But definitely, I would take top 4. But then the other option, I would take 5th in Europa League. It's a trophy. It's we'll get Champions League. So that's just my opinion.
Thank you. I will get to your score prediction in a minute. Just very briefly, Shahan and Manny, that's the question. What, as a Man United fan, same position as Arsenal, what would you prefer, Shahan?
For me, I think easily I would take 5th in Europa, to be honest, because how I see it is if you win the Europa, you get into the Champions League. So finishing 4th is nothing really special. You just get Champions League, whereas this you get a trophy, you get the best of both worlds. So I would take 5th and the Europa, in my view.
And Manny?
Oh, here's the thing. Trophies, as you know, Graham, are crapshoots. The best team on the day wins, and there's no guarantee that we would win. Sophie's Choice has nothing on this. If it were Sophie's Choice, it would be a much shorter movie. For me, given that our last few seasons saw us finish, I believe under Wenger we were sixth, and then fifth in the season before that, then fifth, eighth, eighth, fifth. So the real sign of progress for me would be a top four finish, because that means that we have the ability to perform throughout the season. And granted, we do have a situation where some teams have not been firing on all cylinders. But listen, last season we had a few teams not firing on all cylinders. We didn't have midweek games on Thursday, and we still got pipped to the post by a Tottenham team that, by all accounts, shouldn't have even been in the race. So anything can truly happen, and so top four will be the barometer by which his season is judged. Now, of course, if we were to win the Europa League, I would say, don't look a gift horse in its
Don't
mouth.
bring up
It's a,
AFTV, please don't, please.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
European trophy, and the sad part is, Graham, if you take a look at our history, the two European trophies that we've won, they have since been discontinued. So it would be nice to win a trophy that is still continuing, if you will. It would be good. I'd have to choose at least marginally top four over the Europa, but if you give me both, I'll be a happy chappy.
Exactly. So we'll just do a quick score prediction very quickly. That means very quickly, Ollie. I'll start with you again, Manny. What's the score going to be? I think you already mentioned it.
Yeah, I mentioned it. Desmond, 2-2.
Mia?
Yeah, 2-2 as well.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with the guys. Confident as always, 3-0 Arsenal.
You've changed your fucking score prediction so many times. I'll say 1-1. Listen,
Why are you all predicting a draw? You're also boring.
Briefly, before I haven't really mentioned it. Listen, we can say what about Liverpool. The Liverpool are still a quality side for me. They just because they've been on poor form doesn't mean they're going to play bad here. Yes, we've got a great chance to win, and there's definitely something we can do. But I will take 1-1. That is still a good result against. Listen, it's still a class side. Jeffrey, Liverpool fan, thank you, mate. 2-1 Arsenal, 2-2. He's obviously not very confident, but again, he knows that Liverpool can show up. Stop downplaying. That's Phil. Arsenal are romping. I'm being cautious. Jay is coming back on, so we will do Brentford's preview last. There's a few other games. I'm going to go to one person, and they're going to give me a brief prediction of this game, a brief preview, a minute long, maybe a little bit less, and then the score prediction. So I'm going to start with Manny. Tell us about Man City versus Southampton. Tell us why he's so good. Tell us why this is going to be 5-6, 7-0, surely.
It's not going to be 5-6 or 7-0. I'm going to be conservative and say that it will be 3-0.
Hi,
I wouldn't
Laura.
be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes a bit higher, and I'll tell you why. City have been firing on all cylinders. They've obviously been, whipping teams left, right, and centre. They've been saving some of their most clinical performances for the Premiership, and of course that 5-0 win in midweek against Copenhagen was just, again, a continuance of that. They're going to be up against a Southampton team, Graham, that will be focusing a little bit more on defending because, they've shown with the win over Chelsea, for example, that if they play as a team and sort of stick together, they can, grind out a decent result. I would have to say, though, that was a bit of an overachievement because since then they've hardly been able to buy a win. And of course, they haven't been able to keep a clean sheet, although Bazunu has been a bit of a decent buy. So him returning to the Etihad will be a nice subplot because he will want to, remind City fans of his ability and just remind them that he should have been considered as a backup to Ederson. But again, even considering that this team is completely compact and will want to, avoid the mistakes that Manchester United made, City are still going to score some goals. So I don't think we'll see a Haaland hat-trick. I know he was denied that on, I think it was Wednesday when Guardiola took him off and brought Palmer on. But I'm sure he will score. We might see De Bruyne score, Grealish score again. Anyone can score. It's hard to predict, but for me, it's going to be a conservative 3-0 win. I don't think Guardiola will want to really go all out against teams like Southampton. He will want his boys to save their energy for the bigger games, for the bigger fish that have to be caught and fried. So 3-0, and that's just me being conservative.
Fair enough. Chelsea Wolves. I've seen that comment from before I get to Chelsea Wolves. Potter is doing a good job, Boris. but will it last? I don't know. Talking of Chelsea, Shahan, Chelsea Wolves, is this a home win?
Yeah, I think this will be a game that Chelsea, obviously, coming off 2 wins, if I'm correct. I think they're high in confidence at the moment. I think Wolves are a mid-table team, nothing special. I think Chelsea will look at this game as 3 points they can get. I think Graham Potter's come in. He's starting to gel. He's starting to, see who he's working with, who his best players are, who his best 11 are. I think this could be an easy win for me in my view for Chelsea. I can see them winning about 3-1 in my view.
Thank you, Shahan. Brighton Spurs, don't be biased. Don't be biased. Ollie, Brighton Spurs.
Yeah, just a brief thing. Obviously, I don't like talking about Spurs, and this is definitely a Spurs win. I know a Spurs fan who would want this win. I'm going to go 2-1 Spurs. I know Brighton are doing well, so you draw into Liverpool. Trossard to score for Brighton, and then probably Kane and Son to score for Spurs.
Okay, Jay, we'll just briefly do another games very briefly, one person per team, and then we'll get to Newcastle Brentford. So while I got you, mate, what's Nottingham Forest Aston Villa going to be? I know you're not a big fan of both teams.
I just think Villa just massively underperformed for who they've got. I think their squad is very good, minus their centre backs. Their centre backs are dog shit, absolute dog shit. Both teams to score in this game, 100%. But I think Forest might get a result. I think it's going to be favourable. They're either going to get a draw or a win. I know that's obviously 2 and 3 results, but I can see Forest bouncing back. They're not going to lose every game, are they? They can't lose 10 games in a row. It's not possible, especially how dodgy Villa are. Like, we'll see. But yeah, I can see it going Forest's way. Do you know what I mean? Steve Cooper's not a bad manager. They've just had a little bit of time to gel. They're a bit all over the shop. He hasn't really sure of his starting 11 yet. He's got faith in Lingard when Lingard's been fucking shit so far. Start Manuel Dennis and they'll be fine.
I'll stay with you, Jay. One more. Crystal Palace Leeds.
Yeah, I said it'll be a draw. Leeds are going to go for it. Palace know how to defend. They don't like losing. I think it's a draw.
Score 0-0.
Yeah, no, probably a score draw, like 2-2. So it'll be a good game. Really exciting.
Danny, Bournemouth Leicester.
Ooh, this is a good one. Leicester to win 2-0. That win over Nottingham Forest, who I'm sorry are looking very disoriented and could very well end up being sucked into a relegation fight. And people thought that Arsenal were crazy for giving Arteta a 3-year contract before the end of the season. To give Steve Cooper a new contract right now, I mean,
Ridiculous.
it is insanity. And Jay was talking about Lingard. I think special mention must be made of a certain Dean Henderson who has looked very beleaguered. And every time he'd concede a goal, you'd see him banging the pit of the field as if he was trying to audition for WWE. I mean, mate, listen, there's no point in being angry. Channel that anger into making sure you don't concede next time. But anyway, obviously Forest were blown away by Leicester, and Leicester had the bit between their teeth. And I think Rodgers has started to find out what his best combination would be. No more back 3. He's gone for a back 4 with Ndidi in the middle, a nice attacking 4-man midfield with Tielemans, Maddison and company, and then Vardy or maybe Daka up front. This should be a routine 2-0 win because Bournemouth, while their recovery has been magnificent, they have been based on defence. I don't know if they have enough potency in their attack. And Bournemouth, mind you, also beat Forest. So these are teams that have really caused Forest problems. So Leicester to win. But if Leicester loses, Rodgers will be gone.
Shahan, West Ham Fulham.
Yeah, West Ham at home against Fulham. I think Fulham, in my view, are a championship team. They're going to be going back down easily. I think Fulham won't be in the Premier League for long. West Ham, on the other hand, again, they see this as an easy win in their view. I think they'll go out and come with a comfortable win, to be honest, 2-0.
And Ollie, just I'll get your prediction on this one as well, Ollie. West Ham Fulham.
Yeah, so on a predictions group chat, I put 2-0 West Ham because obviously West Ham are at home. They're doing well. Fulham as well doing well. They could get a goal. Mitrovic will probably go 2-1 actually. Mitrovic to score. And then West Ham goals, probably Bowen and Skamaka maybe. But I know someone at my work who supports West Ham, so she'll probably be happy if they win.
All right, thank you, lads. So, final game, Newcastle-Brentford. Jay, big Brentford fan, always on the channel, always likes to chat about his team. Very optimistic Brentford fan. Is this a tough game, Jay? Can you get something out of it?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's no ASM and no Isaac. I know Wilson's up there, but I think Wilson's very overrated. Robbed a goal at the weekend to get his tally up. Obviously he's goal scorer, but like he's fucking injury prone and he's so far up his own arse, it's unbelievable. But yeah, I just don't understand Newcastle. I think Eddie Howe is out of his depth in terms of he's got unlimited money and he just didn't fucking spend it. He's got Sean Longstaff starting. It's ridiculous. Like their squad depth is terrible. They should have strengthened in some very key areas. They didn't have to be starters. They've got Ryan fucking Fraser. Oh my god. Almiron. I know he scored an absolute banger against the 10-man Fulham, but he's fucking dog shit. Don't get me wrong, Newcastle are much better than they were, and I still think their starting team is very, very good. I just don't think they've got enough strength and depth there, and they didn't do enough in the window for me. For a team with unlimited money, because they could have done that rather than being conservative. Like, what's the point? I'm not saying you go and spend 80 million on one player, but I'm saying you build up and have some really good strength and depth. But yeah, away at Newcastle, it is going to be a tough game. That doesn't mean I think we're going to walk all over them. Me saying that about them, that's just a personal opinion. But yeah, look, we love to concede goals. Bournemouth was our first clean sheet of the season, I think. And well, apart from Man United,
anyone can do that.
Right, 4-0.
That's you,
yeah. If you're a betting man, both teams to score. We don't like losing, so I can see us getting a draw. I can always see us winning, so I can't even call it, to be honest. Like when we're away,
I'll hold your prediction for a minute, mate. Hold on. I'll come back to you.
I'm a massive Thomas Frank fan, but I just think there's a couple of team selections which are a bit fucking dodgy at the moment. We've got Josh Da Silva on the bench for Shandon Baptiste.
Yeah, I don't get why Da Silva's not starting. Why isn't he starting?
I'm pulling my hair out every time I see Shandon with the ball. I'm hearing commentary going, "Oh, well, he never does anything wrong." Well, that doesn't mean he's a good fucking player. You've got to go and do the extraordinary. Everyone can play a bit part and pass the ball, but you've got to go forward. You've got to make those opportunities happen. Get assists, get goals. He's done none of that. So yeah, why Josh Da Silva is on the bench? He's probably the player in our team with the most potential.
Yeah, Da Silva started against United, didn't he? He was one of those front three who completely ripped them apart.
Middle three, yeah. He runs from deep, plays a right side.
But he's quite fast, though. I mean, I have him in my fantasy, and he never plays, so I'm going to bench him.
And the thing is with Da Silva, he's both-footed, so people would expect him just to go on his left, but he can go on his right just as much. So he can do everything. He's amazing, but we're not seeing enough of him, which is fucking me off.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Shahan, obviously you know what Brentford's about. Obviously you've been in the Brentford end before last year when you watched Man United. You sat there and you were quiet. But this year you lot got spanked. Jokes aside, if Brentford play like that against anyone outside the top six, can they get a result here?
To be honest, I think let me start off by the 4-0 first. Let me talk about that just quickly. I think that was just a match where he caught Ten Hag off guard. It was a shambles performance. Would that happen again? I highly doubt it. But yeah, that's the end of conversation. Now, Brentford, they had a good, fantastic season last season. Yeah. But this season, I think they're very overrated by Brentford fans, especially Marvin. He makes them sound like prime Barcelona when they're nowhere near. I think they'll just about survive the Premier League. They'll be down there. Will they be mid-table? I highly doubt it. I don't think they have world-class players to be just about surviving the Premier League. I think they'll come up against Newcastle. I think it'll be a boring game. Like I said, I think Brentford fans, they're a decent team, but I don't think the way the Brentford fans describe them, I don't think they're that good, to be honest, in my view.
You're going to get on their bad side. Jay, I'll let you respond in a minute. Manny, obviously, Brentford is my wife's team, daughter's team. Jay, one of my best mates. So this channel has a lot of Brentford association. So unlike Mia, just be aware, if you say anything negative about Brentford, Laura might come on. But anyway, jokes aside, regarding Brentford, how How impressed have you been with them since they've been in the Premier League?
Oh, I've been very impressed, mate. And they've been the sort of team which certainly has shown their ability to attack well, and also keep that high press going. It's funny though, because they're the sort of team that is motivated quite highly to perform well against some of the bigger teams. But this season, especially against some teams that they're expected to win, they've sort of come up a little bit short. So it might be harsh to call them a Jekyll and Hyde sort of team, but they've got a system and it works, and that 4-3-3 would be enough to rip through quite a lot of other teams. And I actually do like Brentford. I'm not going to say that they're overrated in any way. I mean, could they have strengthened over the summer? Maybe, but they do have a guy named Hickey, who a Scotland international, who we were interested in, if you remember. He could have solved a few problems at right back. He's now at Brentford, having the time of his life, playing for Scotland as well, alongside Tierney. So, it's worked out well for him. And they will stay up this season. And obviously, if they do stay up, then the onus will be on Frank to make sure that he strengthens the team and tries to get them playing better branded football. I would definitely like to see them go on a cup run, perhaps, to sort of raise their profile. And things could be looking up for them. Of course, it could also happen that Frank may decide that he's taken them as far as he could take them, and someone else might come in. We don't know, but for now, I do enjoy watching them play. I mean, give me Ivan Toney any day of the week. I would pay to watch him play. And I'm going to go for a score draw here, another Desmond, because look, Newcastle have shown that they can attack. Brentford have shown that they can attack. Both teams have goals in them. Both teams are also going to try and defend as much as they can, but the goals will come. But I predict a share of the spoils, another 2-2 draw for me. So hopefully neither your wife or daughter will come at me. Yeah, you've heard what I had to say.
I think you said some respectable and fair things there. I think that's a fair analyst. Jay, I want to get your opinion in a second, but let me go to Mr. Sinclair first, because I can see you're biting. You're ready. Ollie, what's your view on this game here? What's the prediction going to be?
Listen, your daughter and Laura are going to be happy about this, because I'm going to go with a Brentford win. I'll tell you the score in a minute. But just talking about Brentford, I'm impressed with that 4-0 win. I never predicted that. I predicted a United win. For the fact for them to get 4 goals against United, which we couldn't do, is incredible. They've had doing well at home, obviously not against Arsenal though. Sorry, Jay. But no, good manager, decent team. Obviously, Tony Reyes doing well in goal, decent defense. I'm a bit annoyed about De Silva not playing, to be honest. But no, look, I mean,
he's getting noshed off again.
Maybe even doing well in the Prem, top 10, or maybe even get Europe. But realistically, looking at this game, Newcastle are on very good form. I think easily they could beat Arsenal when they play us. Pope's doing well in goal, good defense. Wilson's doing well. Obviously, Isaac injured now. So look, I'm gonna get to my prediction now. So Newcastle will score. I'm gonna predict that Wilson will score. Maybe Wilson or Joe Willock. But Laura, you're gonna be happy. I'm going for a Tony hat trick, 3-1 Brentford. Come on, Brentford.
Jay likes you now. Cheers, Ollie. Jay. Okay. What can you respond to some of what do you reckon about Shahan's comments there? Is some of it fair, or is it?
Firstly, how can you call a team with the second lowest budget after Bournemouth overrated? You can't, can you? Wherever we're in the league, as long as we don't finish bottom, we're overrated. We've been overrated, haven't we? So you can't say that. But secondly, I can say we ain't strengthened. But Ben Mee starts every game. Hickey starts every game. King Lewis Potter just got injured. Starts. Damsgaard, come on, man. How's that?
Yeah, but who's your attackers, though? You've only got Tony.
Brian and Bemo.
Oh,
they play wide. Wisa and Bemo all scored 5+ goals last year. 7 assists for Bemo. Come on, man. Fucking
yes, Laura.
You said something. Don't go mousy now.
What was that?
You said something. We didn't hear you.
Oh, I said all these players are just championship players.
Championship players.
God, chill out,
Graham, I want you to clip this. All right? I want you to clip this. Because when
clip it.
And they get a result, I want you to make sure you play that clip and let him see it. This is why you must never, ever shoot your mouth off. Ridiculous.
Laura's getting mad now.
I'm sorry.
Ollie's got to go. So, Ollie, thank you. Big up your channel before you leave.
Yeah, guys. So big up having me on. Big up Jay, Brentford fan. Big up Manny for making his debut. Big up Graham. Big ups. Is it Sahib? His name is Zahan. Yeah, big up. And obviously I went for a 3-0 Arsenal and gonna make Laura and his daughter happy. 3-1 Brentford. But no, you can find me Decent Go on YouTube. I just hit 1K. Stream coming soon. I've got a few videos out, so go like that and go watch back my videos for the watch hours. You can also find me personally on Instagram, Ollie.Sinclair556 and Aaron_Ramsdale1. And you can find me on TikTok, Ollie556. Apart from that, DM me for any other socials. And yeah, big up for Graham for everyone and subscribe to my YouTube. But yeah, see you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, see ya.
Shahan, he's getting all the smoke.
No.
Shahan's still sitting on a donut for when we fucked him.
He's the only I'd club.
You're just
Tony,
bitter.
what?
You're just bitter. Don't start that.
All championship. That's my view.
Well, your view is United are going to finish top 4, so
No, Brentford stay up with that 4-0 win. They'll stay up.
No, listen, it's all good. Everyone's got their opinion. Listen, Shahan, fair enough, mate.
No one's talking about Man United's 2-1 win over Liverpool. They're hammering of Arsenal. Why is no one talking about that?
because Liverpool are fucking shit.
What about Arsenal?
Oh, yeah. So they had a blip. What happened in your next game?
It's all right.
You got lucky because you caught them on the break. Did you play well? It's about underlying performances, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like Manny said about cup games. It's whoever wins best. It plays best on the day, but on the longevity of a season, it shows you the results, doesn't it? Anyone can win a game in instance. We're not saying we're better than you because we beat you 4-0. Obviously, that's not true, is it? But you can't then take those principles and use them as a blanket for everything.
Shahan, what's your score prediction here, mate?
Boring 1-1.
Fair enough. Jay,
Bitter.
because United still plays shit.
He's so bitter.
3-2 Brentford might be an interesting one. Jay, what's your score prediction here?
Yeah, I don't mind 3-2. I will always back the win. But I wouldn't be upset with a draw. Do you know what I mean? I'm happy with that.
Man United are getting so much hate, Shahan. No, listen, it's all good. It's all good. How many channels does Ollie have? He's probably got a gay channel somewhere.
Come on.
All jokes, he loved it. You know, I'm just saying, obviously, people not are familiar to Manny. Manny is on YouTube everywhere. We met on Del Boy's channel, and I was mesmerised with Manny's voice because Manny's the only person who could probably call me a cunt, and I would smile because his voice is amazing.
You do know, Mr. Jones, that I would never say that. And here's the thing.
I know you wouldn't, but even if you did, it would be amazing.
Go.
Go on, no, go on, mate. Go on, mate. You can go.
Here's the thing. I mean, every time you say that, it really warms my heart because I'll tell you one thing. I hear my voice on playback very often, yeah? And I'm very self-critical. There are times when I feel as though maybe I haven't enunciated myself very well. There are times when maybe I've spoken a bit too fast or had a bit of a stammer here or there. And I just don't like the sound of my voice on playback. Ironically, I've done a bit of voice recording. It's something I would like to do a lot more often, but you know, it's just thing inside me telling me you sound awful. And no, I think that's Phil who's typing in the chat there. And Phil, no, I'm not going to do that. You will not get me to do that. I'm sorry. I love you both, top people. I will never do that on your own channel. That is suicide in YouTube.
It's all good. It's all good. Ella, also remember what happened on 6-3. Shahan's getting all the smoke. Anyway, we move on. Last bit of the show. Guarantee the weekend. Manny, I know your first day on the show. So basically, you're going to predict one thing that you guarantee is going to happen in one of the fixtures. It could be anything. It could be who scores, a result, a red card, a penalty. I'll start things off. I think Haaland gets a hat trick. I think he gets 4 goals against Southampton. That's my guarantee of the weekend. He gets 4 goals.
Jay, that's a good guarantee. I mean, he wants one.
Yeah, Jay, what's your guarantee of the weekend?
I'm having a look. Come back to me.
I'll go to you, Mia. What's your prediction?
I was actually
guarantee the weekend.
Actually, going to say the same thing. I think, I think the Man City will go all out to make a statement against Southampton. In my view, I think, obviously Haaland subbed off. I think he'll be fresh for this game, and I can see him definitely. I can see him highly likely getting a hat trick.
Fair enough. Manny, what's your prediction of the weekend? Any game, anything?
Oh, this is going to be a real doozy. We've got Arsenal-Liverpool on Sunday. That's going to be a real crunch classic. And it's going to be up against a Liverpool team who will want to set the record straight against us. And we will want to try and, put everything right against them. I can predict that this will be a very niggly clash. And I'm going to predict one guarantee. There'll be a sending off.
Yeah, that's a good one. Phil was just saying, come on, man, and call him it.
I told you, no.
Laura, love listening to you. Guarantee Leeds and Johnny getting it. Obviously, Jordan's a Leeds fan. Jay, what's your prediction? Guarantee the weekend.
Everton to win 2-0.
Why did you say that?
Oh, mate, I just think Everton's defence is solid. What, they conceded 6 goals. Man United get lucky with 1-0 wins apart from Arsenal. Do you know what I mean?
Are they playing Man United? I didn't know.
The shit Manchester team.
Yeah. Listen, guys, thank you so much. Always a pleasure to have you on. Shahan, thank you so much for coming back on. I know you're part of this channel, so you know no other YouTube channel. But is there anything else you want to say before we go?
Just trust in Ten Hag's process. We will be back.
Fair enough. Jay, anything you want to say before you go, mate?
You're a cunt.
Nice.
That was awful. That sounded awful. Don't ever come back on this channel again. He's a family man, for Pete's sake. His wife and daughter might be watching. I would never, ever do that.
No, good, Jay. Anything else you want to say?
His daughter would call me it as well.
She wouldn't. No,
well,
go
she
on.
has a right to.
Anything else, Jay? Manny, where can we find you? What channel, mate?
No channel of my own, sadly, but I am working on trying to get one, and you, Graham, and Phil will be among the first to know. But as you said, you can find me everywhere on YouTube. I mean, Del Boy Gunner TV, my go-to. That was where I made my debut, and it's been a wonderful journey since. S. Featley TV, working with Stephen Featley for Children's Liver Disease Fund. Great content. He's actually doing a stream right now, but I told him, no, you made plans with me first. I'm coming here. Oris Talks Football, I'll be hopping on there a bit. Coach's Corner with Hanno Trollope, I might be joining in there. King's Football Show with King Sate, the Football for Thought podcast with NS Sports TV. I've actually just hopped off a stream with a Manchester United fan. That's the True Red Devils channel. You can also catch me on another one, Tony Claude Gunner.
Yeah.
So, look, I'm as you've said, Graham, I'm becoming more stretched, if you will, but I love doing this. And the more I get to do this, the more enjoyment I get, because I get to come and have my say. And hopefully what you see is what you get with me. Someone who's happy to talk football, someone who's a bit more of a realist, someone who won't shoot his mouth off for fear of being clipped and for having it come back to bite me in my backside. And look, I'm good company with people, open book, good sense of humor, and I hope you enjoy my company, because I enjoy being with all of you. Peace.
Thank you so much, Manny. Really appreciate it. Jay and Shahan, we're going to have to make sure you come back on together, because this could be the new rivalry of the channel. No, guys, thank you so much. As always, like and subscribe to the channel. Danny and Adon will be back next week for another live. You probably will see the regulars, Jay, and Manny will be back on at some point, and I know Mia will be as well. Absolute pleasure. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. All the comments, really appreciate it. If I missed anything, apologies. But it's going to be a great weekend of football. The big game. Will Arsenal get something out of Liverpool? Will Newcastle beat Brentford? And how many will Everton score when they beat Man United? Anyway, that is it, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you all soon.
Bye.